Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video we're going to be answering the question, is quick digestion good or bad? And how to get your body to digest food quicker and more easily. If you guys are new to the channel, my name's Alicia and this is the Alicia Dion channel. We talk about everything IBS, bloating and gut health related here. Whilst you're here, why not hit that like button, jump on down to that subscribe button and let's dive right in. So is quick digestion good or bad? When you kind of look into this topic and ask that question on Google, the first thing that's important to understand is that everybody is an individual and everyone's digestion is different. But the main consensus is that food will spend about 6 to 8 hours in your stomach. And once it leaves the stomach to move through the small and larger intestines to finally be processed by the colon, we're talking around 10 to 59 hours. The average we're looking here is about 36 hours from when you eat your meal to when you go to the toilet. But anything from the 16 to 67 hour mark would be very normal. And actually the Canadian Society of Intestinal Research go as far to say that it would be normal for digestion to take anything from 12 to 72 hours. So when we look at normal digestion, we're looking at anything in that window. And obviously different speeds are there, but when it comes to saying what's too quick or too slow, if you're within this window, generally that is healthy. So if we look at any section between that 16 and 72 hour mark, that would indicate a healthy gut, one that's prepared to digest any food that you throw its way and digest them to completion while taking any nutrients out of those foods that you need. At the end of the day, healthy digestion is complete digestion, and this includes every aspect of the digestive tract. So in order to know if your digestion is too slow or too fast, you really have to be looking at the symptoms that you're experiencing alongside it. If you think that your digestion is taking 72 hours, but you're not going through any bad symptoms, no negative bloating, no indigestion, then really that's absolutely fine. And if your digestion is 16 hours, but again you're experiencing no symptoms that are negative, that would indicate proper digestion and healthy digestion. However, you can be within that 16 to 72 hour window and still be experiencing negative effects. And that is where it's important to know and understand the different parts of your digestion and how you can improve them. If shortly after eating, around the 10 to 30 minute mark, you're experiencing diarrhea, dizziness, bloating, increased heart rate, nausea, flushed skin, cramping or vomiting, these are symptoms of early dumping syndrome and you should speak to your doctor as soon as you can. And if you're experiencing dizziness, fatigue, hunger, an increased heart rate, skin flush, hot sweats or weakness around 2 to 3 hours after eating, this could be a symptom of late dumping syndrome. And again, you need to speak to your doctor. Dumping syndrome is basically where the stomach is dumping the food into the duodenum too quickly and it's not digesting the food before it passes it on. So in this particular circumstance, fast digestion is actually a negative thing. But now that we've talked about the symptoms that you might be experiencing if you're having negative fast digestion, let's move on to ways that you can improve your digestion. And this part's really for you if you're feeling bunged up or sluggish, or like your stomach takes a really long time to digest food, or you feel like not all of your foods are being digested to completion. So how to get your body to digest food quickly and more easily. You may be experiencing symptoms like bloating, constipation, swollen stomachs, lethargy, stomach cramps, indigestion, gas and acid reflux. And everything I'm about to share with you is going to help you to improve your digestion to hopefully solve those symptoms. In order to get your food to digest quickly and more easily, I'm going to walk you through the digestive system in zones, and I'm going to talk about how you can make each zone more efficient and help it to work better, which will then lead to faster digestion and fewer negative symptoms. First one we're going to talk about is the stomach. As you know, if you watched last week's video, Why Am I Always Bloated? The Reason You Are Bloated All the Time, where I share my tips on how you can hack bloating and figure out why you are always bloated. So I will link that up there for you and also drop it in the comment section below. But if you watched last week's video, you already know that stomach acid is highly acidic and it's the first line of action against any food that you put into your stomach. The main ingredient, as it were, that makes stomach acid so acidic is HCl, also known as hydrochloric acid, and this is made up of hydrogen and chloride. Stomach acid breaks down food and allows things like digestive enzymes to come along and begin the digestion process. There are two ways in which you might find that your stomach acid isn't doing its job as well as it could be. The first is that there isn't enough of it, and the second is that it's not concentrated enough and therefore too alkaline. Ideally, we want stomach acid to have a pH between 0 and 3, and this is extremely acidic. For example, things that have a pH of 0 are battery acid. Stomach acid has a pH normally of about 1, and things with a pH pH of 2 are things like vinegar and lemon juice. Now, to increase the acidity or the strength of stomach acid, you can add more HCl, more hydrochloric acid, to your stomach. However, you can't exactly go drink hydrochloric acid because it'll land you in the hospital or more likely the morgue. However, there are things that you can do to increase the strength of your stomach acid. The first thing you can do is eat more ginger. You can also drink apple cider vinegar, eat fermented vegetables like kimchi and pickles, limit the number of processed foods that you eat, and also you can kind of hack the system by taking a weaker acid. Betaine hydrochloride, for example, you can take as a dietary supplement, and it's a weaker acid that's safe to take and can help contribute to stronger stomach acid. Now, I have mentioned that HCl, hydrochloric acid, is part of the stomach acid, but it's not the only thing that makes it up. It's also made up of potassium chloride, which is KCl, and sodium chloride, which is NaCl, also known as salt. Another way to build up stomach acid in both quantity and strength is to eat salt, otherwise known as NaCl, and also increase your potassium intake, which has an element symbol of K, and this will allow your stomach to have more potassium chloride. So by introducing more salt into your diet, more potassium into your diet, and following the tips I just shared with you on how to increase your stomach acid, you can make more KCl, NaCl, and HCl, which will make for some really healthy, strong, and acidic stomach acid. Just a very quick disclaimer though, you guys. Salt isn't exactly healthy. It increases heart disease, it increases so many different health problems, and it really should be taken with, I hate to say this pun, a pinch of salt. It's great to incorporate more salt into your diet, but don't increase too much. Also, if you suffer with bloating, and as you know if you've watched any of my other videos, be careful with how you hydrate when you're eating more salt. It will cause water retention, which can then cause more excessive bloating. The final tip to help you with your stomach acid is to avoid antacids. This might be a really tough one, especially if the main symptom that you're experiencing of indigestion is acid reflux. But if you want to understand it a little bit more, I'd highly advise speaking to your doctor and seeing what they say in terms of making healthy stomach acid, but also helping you treat that symptom of acid reflux. Next up, we have the gallbladder. The gallbladder is where you will find bile, and bile is produced by the liver. Bile helps you break down fats into fatty acids, and then these fatty acids can be properly digested by your body. Now, to improve this element of digestion, there's two different tactical approaches you can take, and you can do both of them if you want to. The first thing you can do is take purified bile salts. These are normally taken after a meal, and they can really help increase the amount of bile that you have readily available in your body. This should help reduce symptoms like bloating, indigestion, diarrhea, trapped gas, and stomach cramps. However, it's really important to note here that it might be more important to stay hydrated, as 85% of bile is water. The second tactic you can take is to give your body the things that are going to stimulate the liver to produce more bile. Foods that are going to stimulate your liver to produce more bile include dark leafy greens like beet tops. It also includes beetroot, artichokes, pickles, celery juice, lemon, ginger, and choline, which is key in metabolism rates and can be found in meat, eggs, fish, and dairy products. One thing that is detrimental to the amount of bile you can keep in your body is damaged gut flora or depleted gut microbiome. And that's because certain microbes allow you to recycle the bile that you've already used. So if you have a damaged gut microbiome, you're really going to struggle to recycle that bile, and therefore you'll have a depleted source. This might happen from taking antibiotics, for example. And I actually did a whole video on how antibiotics affect your gut health, which I will link up there for you and also drop in the comment section below if you want to learn more about antibiotics and the things that they can do to your gut. But hopefully by following these tips, you'll be able to increase the amount of bile you have, increase your bile production, and therefore food will be digested quicker and more easily in your body. I literally can't sit down properly. I went to a hen do this weekend, and we went to a water park, and it was really, really good fun. But my abs and my arms from pulling myself out of the water after falling over so many times. I wiped out so hard, so many times, and I ache. And that was 2 days ago. Oh. Next, we are talking about digestive enzymes. You've probably heard of digestive enzymes. They can be found the whole way through the digestive tract, and they're mainly produced by the small intestines, the pancreas, and the stomach. They break down not one, not two, but three things: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. I didn't actually know this, but enzymes can be built up really easily by eating raw foods. When we cook foods, the heat denature the enzymes and therefore basically get rid of them. So when you eat raw foods, the enzymes are still readily available for you and they'll be kept by your body. So eating raw fruit and vegetables is a really great way to increase your digestive enzymes and digest food quicker and more easily. Another really important enzyme is called lipase, and this works side by side with bile. And they break down fats in foods into the smallest counterpart, which can then be digested by your body. And you can actually take a supplement, but I can't pronounce it. I think it's called Lipazyme or Lipazium, something. You can take this and it will help with your lipase, which will work with your bile, which will digest fats more easily. And by increasing the diversity of the enzymes that you have in your body, you'll increase the amount of digestive enzymes you have, and this will help to get your body to digest foods quicker and more easily. Next up, we have gut microbiome. I talk so much about gut microbiome. I actually have 2 and arguably 3 other videos on this topic. And I really touch upon in those videos how gut microbiome affects your health and your ability to stay healthy and your immune response in those videos. One of those is called What Are the Symptoms of an Unhealthy Gut, which I will link up there for you and also drop in the comment section below. And the second of those 2 videos is all about how to rebuild gut health, which again, I will link up there for you and drop in the comment section below. But gut microbiome and gut flora are really, really important for digestion, and they each have specific and individual jobs. A bit like building blocks, a healthy gut would be full of diverse and very different, very specific gut microbiome, which would look like a multicolored array of building blocks. And this can be supported by eating a really varied diet. Lots and lots of different foods, lots and lots of fruits and vegetables. And I really started looking into this after I went on 4 courses of antibiotics. 4 courses, and they pretty much wiped out my gut microbiome and gut flora altogether. It was awful. I was always bloated. I was really uncomfortable. I had to learn, I had to teach myself how to rebuild my gut microbiome and how to rebuild my gut health, because I was getting to the point where I was actually becoming ill because 70% of your immune system is in your gut. But really good ways that you can help support gut microbiome and build healthy gut flora is probiotic yogurt, probiotics, kefir, kombucha, and lots of fruit and vegetables, which will help build a really diverse gut. Last and not least, we're going to talk about the nervous system that's in charge of rest and digest. If you are familiar with my channel, you will have seen my videos which I talk about the CNS, the central nervous system, which is in charge of pretty much every thought process and my ability to lift my arm just now, and the ENS, the enteric nervous system, which lines your gut and is in charge of digestion and figuring out everything that it needs in order to continue with its jobs. If you want to know more about those nervous systems and how you can kind of learn about them and kind of learn to not control them but make them work for you as opposed to against you, then I would definitely check out Is Your Gut Making You Depressed and Anxious? I will link it up there for you and also drop it in the comment section below. And that's a really eye-opening video, and it can really help you in times of stress to not make situations worse, especially when it comes to symptoms like bloating. But I have never before talked about the PNS, the parasympathetic nervous system. This is one of 2 components that counterbalance the nervous system that's in charge of fight or flight. So one half is to do with fight or flight and the other half is to do with rest and digest. The parasympathetic nervous system helps with conserving energy and dealing with bodily functions like digestion and urination. The parasympathetic nervous system is like your chill guy, your chill dude. He is your 420 representative. And by stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system, you can experience easy digestion. I stumbled over my words so hard right there. You can stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system by keeping stress low. Easier said than done. And if you're stressed right now and you're hearing this, me telling you to not be stressed isn't gonna help. It's not gonna achieve anything. But if you want to learn more about why stress is so detrimental to digestion, then I would definitely hop on over. I am suggesting so many videos in this video. But if you want to learn more about why stress is awful for digestion, then I would check out my video, Why Stress is Your Worst Enemy with IBS. Can you guess where I'm gonna put it? Can you? I'm gonna link it up there for you and I'm gonna drop it in the comment section below. So the first thing you can do is reduce stress, and that will help stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. The second thing that you can do is take B1, which is also known as thymine. And thymine supports peristalsis. Peristalsis is the toothpaste tube action that your gut does in order to move food along. So you've got your food and it squeezes it, moves it along a bit like a wave. That is called peristalsis. And B1 supports that action and makes sure that that food doesn't sit there doing absolutely nothing but making you bloat and uncomfortable for long periods of time. So B1 is a really great thing to take if you think that it's more to do with gut motility as opposed to anything else that's slowing down your digestion. The third thing you can do is incorporate more potassium into your diet, which can be found in avocados, bananas, beet greens, salmon, potatoes, and mushrooms. And the fourth thing you can do is increase the amount of magnesium in your diet. And for once, one of the things on this list of food isn't a vegetable. Dark chocolate, avocado, nuts, tofu, whole grains, and so much more. So incorporate more potassium, more magnesium, more B1, get a B1 supplement, and also reducing stress will all help to really stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, which will aid in both quick and easy digestion. All of these things that I've shared with you today, increasing your stomach acid or increasing the concentration of your stomach acid, helping your body to produce more bile, supporting your gut flora and gut microbiome, staying hydrated, and helping stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system are really going to help you to speed up your digestion. I really hope this video helped you answer the question, is quick digestion good or bad? And also taught you how to get your body to digest food quicker and more easily. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any more tips on this topic, please drop them in the comment section below, or you can ask me any questions that you might have. If you want, you can jump on over to Instagram, which I will put my handle for you right there. It's Scribbles by Alicia. You can jump on over there and message me if you have any questions or any videos that you want to see in the future. If you do suffer with digestive issues, gut health problems, bloating, IBS, or you just want to learn more, then why don't we form an alliance?
Do you want to form an alliance with me?
Absolutely, I do.
Good, excellent.
You can form an alliance by jumping on down to that subscribe button. It really does help me reach more people suffering with IBS, bloating, IBD, leaky gut syndrome, and so much more. Thank you so much for tuning in this video, and I'll see you next week. Bye!